As a Muslim, have you ever sat to ponder what would happen if everyone in the world were to become Muslim? Who stands to benefit and who has the most to lose? Well, you may not be thinking that far. Trust that those who will be affected have thought far and beyond. That is why they're willing to stop that from happening. The $2 trillion alcohol industry, the $540 billion gambling industry, the $250 billion pork meat industry, and the $5.8 trillion global riba, interest-based banking industry, all stand to lose a considerable chunk, if not all of their businesses and revenues, if everyone in the world were to become Muslims. Islam is a way of life. So, aside from the monetary and the financial aspects of changes that will happen if the whole world becomes a Muslim world, there will also be a behavioral changes and a cleanup of the mess it seems the world has become. Those promoting or profiting from the rots that exist in society will lose their leverage and the gains obtained. There is no doubt that an Islamic world would be a peaceful, healthy one where everyone looks out for one another, and one where personal interest does not supersede the interest of the people. At first, any rational human would think this should be ultimately what the world wants. Maybe it definitely is what it needs. However, if you can never underestimate the hunger some people have for wealth, power, dominance, influence, and the likes, that they're willing to go the extra mile to achieve it, no matter who is hurt in the process. The global alcohol industry continues to grow year on year, and the promoters and owners of alcohol brands continue to rake in crazy amounts of money in the process. But we all know the effects of what this substance causes. I'll leave that for you to see around you. What about the gambling industry that has destroyed countless lives, left people with nothing, or made people lose what and who they care the most in their lives? It continues to grow while the promoters sell the illusion of a quick money scheme that hurts no one. The same thing Islam preaches against. Does it really hurt no one? You know the answer. If it doesn't hurt anyone, the company would fold up and go out of business. Winning money from gambling means someone has been hurt in the process. Some may not take it well and end it all. Some lose more than just the money or whatever is lost in the process. Some do not suffer the loss alone. Family, friends, and others may suffer it with them, even though they're innocent of the person's choice. Celebrating a gambling win is like a fraudster celebrating proceeds from a fraudulent scheme. While they're out there celebrating, the victim is distraught in physical and emotional pain, and most likely crying for losing what may be their life savings. Islam preaches against profiting over the pains of others. Now let's talk about interest-based banking, the big evil the world has come to learn to live with. While it's everywhere, it is not the ideal way to bank. Americans, especially students, and those who took student loans while in college will agree that the student loan has been one of the most depressing aspects of adult life. Some take a loan of less than $100,000 and end up paying hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest in the course of their lifetime, pressuring them to do whatever it takes to pay their loan and still manage to live a decent life. Some have been pushed into crimes, forced to do what they normally wouldn't do just to make enough to pay the huge mountain of debt on their head, the majority of which comes from accrued interest on a loan they took. Some take a loan to buy a house, but because the interest is too much, they are unable to pay the complete loan plus interest. The bank swoops in, forecloses the house, and renders the owner homeless. Now, this does not matter whether the owner has paid the equivalent of the original, double, or triple the original. As long as the interest is not fully paid, they stand the risk of being homeless if fortune change for a short time. Allah specifically forbids Muslims from engaging in consumption of pork meat. Why? Because pigs are inherently dirty, and because of that, they carry different forms of diseases. Although this was commanded over 1,000 years ago, new studies continue to prove that there are health risks associated with the consumption of pork meat. Again, the facts are there, and examples abound around us. We are everyday witnesses to the evils that Islam was set to prevent unraveling right in front of us. Now, let's do a little introspection. Let's think about what would happen if everyone were to become Muslims. That would mean the eradication of these hegemonies and the evil they spread around. Will they let this happen? Are we seeing some of their hard work in demarketing Islam? Probably, but will they stop not growth of Islam? No.